So guys, now please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. I'm audible, guys. Now please respond to me. Guys, now please respond to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. I'm audible. Right. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Right, sir. Now, so what is the content here we are discussing? And once again, I'm telling to you, those who are new members inside this class, now please take this link and that admin number. Better take these two no link and admin number. Okay. Right, sir. Then in the yesterday, I started object orientation. Yesterday, I started object orientation topic. So in object orientation, what I completed in the last class, no, to prepare applications, we are able to use the following programming languages, types of programming languages. They are unstructured programming languages, structured programming languages, object oriented programming languages, aspect oriented programming languages. These three things get these things get we are able to use. Right, sir? Okay. Now, given the point like what are the differences between unstructured programming languages and structured programming languages? These concepts here we are understanding. No, what are the differences between unstructured programming languages and structured programming languages? Given some points here. Unstructured programming languages are outdated programming languages. They were introduced at the starting point of computer science, basic fortran. Structured programming languages are not the outdated programming languages. They are utilized still for our application requirements. Structured, unstructured programming languages are following proper structure to prepare the applications. Structured programming languages are following structured programming languages are following a standard structure to prepare the applications. Unstructured programming languages are using mnemonic codes. They are in less number and they'll provide less number of features to the applications. Whereas structured programming languages are using high level syntaxes, no, they are in more numbers and they'll provide more number of features to the applications. Unstructured programming languages are using only go to statement to define flow of execution, but structured programming languages are using more flow controllers to define flow of execution. Definitely more controllers in the sense, if you take C programming language, if switch loops like what they're for loop, while loop, and do while loop, and break statement, continue statement, all these are used for what they're defining flow controllers. Unstructured programming languages are not having functions. It will not provide code reusability and it will increase code redundancy. Structured programming languages are having functions feature. It will increase code reusability and it will reduce code redundancy. So some example here I've given about this code reusability. It's okay, fine. So then immediately here we are going to understand it. What are the differences between structured programming languages and the object-oriented programming languages? This is a question here. Okay. Now here we have to understand clearly the differences between structured programming languages and object-oriented programming languages. Differences are very simple and straightforward. Now observe carefully the differences. No. All right, sir. Now very first difference here I'm telling to you. Observe carefully. Structured programming languages are not structured programming languages are providing less modularization, but whereas object-oriented programming languages, object-oriented programming languages are providing more modularization. And before this modularization, guys, now let me use one more point here. Actually, I want to talk one more point here. Actually, it's not like my required point, no. One more point I want to provide there. Now observe carefully. As a second point, I'm giving modularization, but before that, one more point here I'm telling to you. Observe carefully. Everybody, put more concentration. Right, sir. Now, in structured programming languages are providing difficult approach to represent real world entities in the form of coding. Structured programming languages are providing a difficult approach to represent real world entities in the form of coding parts. But whereas object oriented programming languages are providing simple approach to represent the real world entities in a coding part. Alright, sir. Now I want to elaborate this point here. Now observe carefully. Structured programming languages are providing a difficult approach to represent real world entities in the form of coding part. Object oriented programming languages are providing a simple approach to represent all the real world entities. Now, first of all, now tell me, say for example, I'm telling you now, observe carefully. For example, so I have a bank application, guys. Listen carefully, all of you. I have a bank application. In my bank application, in my bank application, I have a bank application. Inside my bank application, I want to represent account and its operations. That's my requirement. Two cases I'm telling now. Case one, use C programming language from structured programming languages. No? And case two, use Java programming language from object-oriented programming language. In C programming language, prepare bank account and its operations. Represent bank account and its operations in C. Similarly, in Java, take Java programming language to represent the same thing. Then compare it. Easily we can understand it clearly. Now observe carefully. In a C programming language, in a C programming language, to represent that account, bank account, no, what we have to take, no, structures. Topic here we have to take structures. That account is a structure. Struct account we have to take. After that, once we have taken structures, no, pointers we have to take to refer the elements of the structures. We have to take pointers. Then after this, after taking these pointers, no, next one is what there files we may take. Okay, not only files, no, unions here we have to take. Unions here we have to take. Hmm? And so on. Some other programming elements here we are going to take now. This is in the case of C programming language. But in Java, observe carefully. Taking structures is a confusion, and using pointers and accessing the members of the structures is again confusion. Unions, the next one is like what the storage registers, and so on. All these are like what the confusion oriented features. But in the case of Java, the programming is very, very simple. In the case of the Java, the programming part is what there very, very simple. Understand it clearly. In Java, the programming is what there very, very simple. Observe carefully. What is that simple purpose? Simple thing, no? Declare a class account. Declare variables and methods. Variables and methods. So declare a class. Insert the class variables and methods. After these variables and methods, no. After declaring variables and methods, no. What next one here we are going to do? Okay? Then after these variables and methods, create object. Create object and access members. That's enough. In Java, the equation is very simple. What we are able to see inside the Java, no? Declare a class, declare variables and methods inside the class, create object, and access members. That's fine. Yes, sir. All of you getting my point clearly? What I'm telling you? So what's the content here I'm telling to you? Now observe carefully. First of all, here what we have to do, no? Declare the class. After declaring the class, no? Then what next one here we are going to provide there? After declaring the class. Next one is declare variables and methods inside the class, create object and access members. That's finished. This is entire Java. Inside the Java, what is going on? This is going to be happen inside the Java, not more than that. Understand my point clearly now? Now tell me guys, understand it clearly. Now the point is like what I am telling to you. Which approach is simple now? Which approach is simple relatively? In C programming language, we have to use structures, we have to use pointers, and we have to use like what the unions, store, and so on and so on, something else. But in the case of Java, just a class, variables and methods, object and access members. That's finished. Definitely here we are saying like what there Java approach is very simple. So because of that reason, what I am telling no Java approach in the sense what there object orientation approach is very simple. Okay, but when compared with the structured programming languages, object oriented programming languages are providing simple approach to prepare the applications or to represent the real world entities in the form of coding parts here. So because of that reason, the first point here what I am giving there, structured programming languages are providing a difficult approach to represent real world entities in the form of coding part. Object oriented programming languages are providing a simple approach to represent the real world entities in the form of coding parts. In the form of coding parts. Right, so now examples can given observe carefully. The next one is like what there? All of you understand it, no? Second difference, sir. Observe carefully. Structured programming languages are providing less modularization, but object-oriented programming languages are providing more modularization. Less and more. Okay. You know already the modularization particle. Modularization is nothing but logical, one logical like what there division. One logical division is nothing but what there. One logical division is nothing but what there a module. Understand, guys? For example, if you take a bank application, inside the bank application, what we are able to provide now? Account section. The total accounts is what there one module. Transactions part is one module. Loan is another module. Customers care is another module. Okay, like this. In this way, we are going to divide the total requirement to the number of pieces. That each and every piece is called as what there a separate module. For that module, we are going to prepare number of packages and classes and interfaces. No, it's okay, fine. So if we take C programming language, or before that, if we take Java programming language, inside the Java programming language, we have a concept like what their packages. We have a concept like what their packages. Package. The package itself is representing what their a module. Package is nothing but a module. If we declare a package now, related classes and interfaces here we are able to provide. If we declare a package, no, related classes and interfaces here we are able to provide in a single package. Okay. In a single package here we are able to provide what their related classes and interfaces. Okay. So the point is like what I am telling now. In a Java programming language, we have a concept like package to improve modularity. Right, sir. Now, 1 minute, guys. 1 minute. Now, I understand the point clearly. What I'm telling you. In Java programming language, we have a topic like what package. Package is providing modularization. Okay, leave this package now. No, sir. Now inside this package also, I want to have modularization. No, yes, we can declare class or interface for modularity. So classes and interfaces are able to provide modularization. Package itself is providing modularization. Even more than that, if you want to have modularization, Java 9 version has provided a new feature that is what their JPMS, Java Programming Module System. Again, the JBMS main target is also be what there, improving modularization. Now tell me, do you have any such kind of concepts inside the C programming language? Do you have any such kind of modularization inside the C programming language? Definitely no. So now, do you have any separate topic related to these modules inside the C programming language? No specialized topic is available for improving modularization. Package related topic is not available inside the C programming language. So because of that reason, then what's the point I'm telling there? Structured programming languages are providing less modularization, but object oriented programming languages are providing more modularization. This is the second thing here we have to understand. Clear? After this, now point number 3, guys. Now point number 3, observe carefully. Structured programming languages are providing lesser abstraction, whereas object oriented programming languages are providing more abstraction. Abstraction in the sense like what, sir? What is the meaning of this abstraction, sir? Now tell me, all of you know. As of now, what is the definition for this abstraction? What you are understanding about this abstraction? No? The simple definition I'm asking there. What is the meaning of abstraction? You know, nothing, sir. Very simple. Hiding. At present, we can understand hiding the content. In the future, we will change the definition as per the requirement. But now we have to understand abstraction in the sense like what they're hiding the content. Hiding the content. Hiding is nothing but what their abstraction. So wherever we are having modularization and wherever we are having abstraction, there automatically, sorry, wherever we are having modularization, there automatically we are able to have what their abstraction. Why? Because if we declare something inside a module, that module can hide its internal content. That module can hide its internal content. So this is exactly the way of getting what their abstraction. Abstraction is nothing but what they're hiding. But if you take Java programming language, inside the Java programming language, a package can hide its internal content. A module can hide its internal content. Not only these two, know. Inside the Java, there are some other concepts like abstraction. Abstraction is one of the object-oriented feature. Abstraction is one of the object-oriented feature. There is a topic like abstraction. This abstraction is able to achieve the abstraction here. Interfaces topic is available. Interfaces, abstract to classes, abstract to methods, then packages and JPMS module system. All these things are providing like what their modularization and as well as abstraction in Java applications. But do you have any such kind of concepts inside the C programming language? Do you have any such kind of abstract classes and interfaces concepts inside the C programming language? No, we are not having that. So it means that clearly object-oriented programming languages are providing more abstraction, but structured programming languages are providing less abstraction. This is another point here. Right, sir. Now all of you observe carefully. Once again, I'm telling there one more point now. Structured programming languages are providing lesser security, but whereas object oriented programming languages are providing more security. Lesser security, more security. Once again, I'm telling to you all of you guys, now observe carefully. Wherever we are having modularization, abstraction, wherever we are having modularization and abstraction, there automatically security is a advantage. Security will come. Wherever we are achieving modularization and abstraction, there automatically we are able to get what there security. Wherever we are not having modularization and not having like abstraction, there we are not having security. See, one more point I'm telling there. Abstraction is nothing but what they're hiding its internal content. Hiding in the sense what they're protecting the internal content. Protection in the sense what they're definitely security. So if you are having abstraction, then automatically we are able to get what their security. All right. Another point is what? In object oriented programming languages, more abstraction and more modularization we are able to have. So definitely more security here we are able to have. But in structured programming languages, no, less abstraction and less modularization is available. So we are able to have what the lesser security. Lesser security here we are able to get. Okay, sir. Now this is a point here we have to understand about like what the security. Right, sir. Now observe carefully. After completion of this, Structured programming languages are providing lesser structured programming languages are providing lesser shareability, but whereas object oriented programming languages are providing more shareability. Again, the shareability point here we are understanding, no? Of course, the same. These are the advantages of the packages, of course. Inside the Java, packages are available there. We are able to talk about the same type of advantages, no? But these advantages are automatically coming for what their object orientation. For object orientation also we are able to have the same type of advantages, no? But understand it clearly. Structured programming languages are providing less shareability. Object oriented programming languages are providing more shareability. Take Java as an example. Inside the Java, I have a package with a set of classes and interfaces. Once if I declare a package now, that I can share to multiple programs at a time. Okay? Not only that. A package level shareability here I'm able to achieve. Not only that. Abstract classes and interfaces, again they are able to be improved like what their shareability, but in their level. Like these, so many features are available inside the Java to improve shareability. But do you have any such kind of features in our C programming language? Do you have any such kind of features in our C programming language? No, no such type of features in C programming language. Why? Because there's the nature of the structured programming languages. So because of that reason, structured programming languages are providing less shareability, but object-oriented programming languages are providing more shareability. Shareability in the sense like what there? One time if we declare the content now, that we have to share to multiple programs at a time. That we have to share to multiple programs at a time. So that's the reason why here we are getting like what their shareability. Right, so definitely object-oriented programming languages are having more shareability when compared with the structured programming languages. Right, so now let's move on to the next one here. Structured programming languages are providing lesser reusability, whereas object-oriented programming languages are providing more reusability. Object-oriented programming languages are providing what they're more reusability. Again, I'm telling you. If we take Java as an example, to provide reusability, method level reusability we can provide. If we declare a method one time, that we can reuse any number of times. Nice. Class level reusability we can provide. If we declare a class one time, that we can reuse any number of times. Okay. Package level reusability we are able to achieve. One time if we declare a package with the class and interfaces, that we can reuse any number of times. Leave it. Along with all these reusability concepts, one more reusability concept is available, that is what? Inheritance. There is a concept like what there? Inheritance concept is available inside the Java. There is a concept like what there? Inheritance. Guys, observe carefully. There is a concept like what there? Inheritance. Okay, inheritance is a topic, no? In inheritance, inside the inheritance, what we are able to have? Declare variables and methods in one class that we can reuse in what there? Another classes now. Declare variables and methods in one class that we can reuse in another classes, get child classes now. That inheritance itself is providing what there? More reusability. Inheritance is providing more reusability. Now tell me, do you have any such kind of feature inside the C programming language? Inheritance is one of the feature, guys. Now, do you have any such type of feature in other programming languages like C programming language? No such kind of concept. So because of that reason, what we are able to conclude now, object orientation is providing more reusability when compared with what their structured programming languages. So structured programming languages are providing less reusability, whereas object oriented programming languages are providing more reusability. So these are all the differences between structured programming languages and object oriented programming languages. Come on, guys. Then what are the various differences between these two? No, structured programming languages are providing a difficult approach to represent real-world entities in the form of coding. Object-oriented programming languages are providing a simple approach to represent the real-world entities in the form of coding parts. Structured programming languages are providing less modularization. Object-oriented programming languages are providing more modularization. Structured programming languages are providing less abstraction. Object-oriented programming languages are providing more abstraction. Structured programming languages are providing lesser security. Object-oriented programming languages are providing more security. Structured programming languages are providing less shareability. Object-oriented programming languages are providing more shareability. Structured programming languages are providing lesser reusability. Object-oriented programming languages are providing what they're more reusability. That's clear, guys. Then it's okay, fine. This is the question here. Now, before this, I have one more point here. What is that? Another point here. Observe carefully. My question is another question. No, to prepare applications, we already have object orientation. Then what is the requirement to use aspect oriented programming languages? To prepare applications, we already have object oriented programming languages or object oriented programming languages. Then what is the requirement to use object oriented programming languages? Then what is the requirement to use? We already have object oriented programming language. Then what is the requirement to use aspect oriented programming languages? There's a question mark. Okay, I'm able to answer for it, guys. Now before that, I think some of your new members know. Then please, for new members, those who are attending classes in the last 2 to 3 days onwards, now please take this guys, all of you, please take this link now. At least take this screenshot here. This link is providing the classroom notes. Inside this link now, whoops document is available. That here we have to open object orientation whoops document. If you open it, the current class content here we are getting, and this is our admin number. Then for the single point of contact about my classes, directly we can talk with him. It's a single point of contact about my classes. No, then there here we can attend for it. There we can get information about my classes through this number. Hemant is a contact person. Any doubt about my classes now, directly we can talk with him, so he able to give clarity on my classes now. Then continuously people are giving information to me regarding this admission process. Sir, please give information how to join for this course. That continuous message I'm getting there. Then please, I'm giving information to you. I'm not right person to talk about your admission process and money and all these things. No, directly you can talk with this admin person here. He will take care about it. He will give the complete information about like what there about this admission process and fee related things and everything. I'm not at all related for it. Just you can talk with him. He's the right person. Is a person from admin office there. Okay, and what I'm telling now, I'm able to give this link to you. In this link only the current core Java notes is going to be happen. Okay, right, sir. Yeah, then Vaibhav, then better to take these courses now. Udemy courses are okay, fine, but better to take these courses now. Right, sir. Right. What's the file name, sir? Then doc, I think so. Okay, good. Document name, no? Oops. Okay. Thank you, Shetty. Right. It's okay, guys. Now let's move on to the content here. Then what we are discussing here. Now observe carefully. The next question is what there to prepare applications. We already have object oriented programming languages. Then what is the requirement to use aspect oriented programming languages? This is the question here we are having. Now observe carefully. First of all, I want to give some clarity on how object oriented programming is going on in the enterprise applications. In enterprise applications, how object orientation is going on, that I want to give clarity now. Now, before that, I'm going to ask one more question to all of you guys. Now, try to answer for it. In enterprise applications, what we are going to provide actually? What logics here we are going to provide inside the enterprise applications? What logics you are providing in enterprise applications? Any idea? I'll give clarity. Now, observe carefully. In to prepare applications, if we use, guys, I'll give explanation for you. First of all, understand it now. To prepare applications, if we use object orientation or object oriented programming languages, then we have to provide, then we have to use both business logics and services logics in a combined manner. It will provide tightly coupled design, and it will provide lesser shareability and lesser reusability. Guys, now please read this statement. I'll give more clarity on this content now. To prepare applications, if we use object oriented programming languages, then we have to use both business logic and services logic in a combined manner. It will provide tightly coupled design, and it will provide lesser shareability and a lesser usability. Right, sir. Now these are exactly the point what is going on inside the object orientation. Clear? Don't worry, guys. Then I'll give more clarity about it now. This is about like what their object orientation here we have to understand. I'll give a diagram now. Observe carefully. And before this, I'm asking to you, what is business logic and what is services logic, sir? Any idea? In object orientation, we are going to provide both business logics and services logic in a combined manner. But what is business logic and what is services logic? Any idea? Do you have any idea on this business logic and services logic? No? I'll give clarity now. Observe carefully. Say for example, if you take e-commerce applications, number of e-commerce applications are available. Amazon.com, Flipkart.com, Meesho, like different e-commerce applications are available. Observe carefully. When we have different number of e-commerce applications, see if you open Amazon.com for example, what they are giving one offer there. What is that offer they are providing there? Say for example, if you purchase the items more than 10,000, if you purchase the items, if you have shopping already more than 10,000, your next item you are able to get with the 50% off. For example, next item we are able to get 50% off. This is the business rule of the Amazon. This is the rule of the Amazon. Amazon has given this type of rule, for example. Okay, this is business rule. At the same time, if you open Flipkart.com, for example, what people of Flipkart.com people have given information there. All right, the Flipkart.com people have given information like what there. If you have the shopping more than 10,000 for the next item, or maybe if you have shopping more than 10,000, and if you use ICICI credit card, then you will get to 25% off. Guys, observe carefully. Amazon.com offer is what there. If you have shopping over 10,000, next item we are able to get within 50%. 50% off is going on for the next item, which is the cost of like what there more than less than 5,000. Okay, fine. But if you open Flipkart.com, what they're saying now, if you have shopping over 10,000 and if you use ICICI credit card, if you use that, automatically you are able to get 25% off in the overall content. Now tell me here. First business rule is provided by Amazon, that is applicable for Amazon.com only. Next business rule is provided by Flipkart, that is related to Flipkart.com only. Similarly, you may see like what there Meesho. Similarly, we are able to see like what the different Instamart, like different like what I'm telling there, then e-commerce applications. So that each and every e-commerce application is having their own business rules and regulations or not. Guys, now time to time say yes or no, time to time give reply to me so that our content is going on in a very smooth manner. If you're keep quiet and if you're not giving any response now, I mean think about it, you're not going to be understanding. Right. So now finally now tell me, Flipkart.com is having its own rules and regulations to do the business. Amazon.com is having its own rules and regulations to do the business. Meesho is having its own rules and regulations to do the business. Am I right or not? Am I right or not? So these business rules and regulations are individual to the e-commerce applications. These business rules and regulations are individual and specific specifications to the respective organizations. Got it or not? So if you prepare any enterprise application, if you prepare logic to implement all these business rules and regulations with respect to the client, then it is nothing but what their business logic. Then it is exactly called as like what their business logic. Amazon is having its own business logic, and Flipkart is having its own business logic. Meesho is having its own business logic. That here we have to understand clearly. This is about like what their business logic. But business logic is okay, sir. I understood that. Then what is this services logic actually? What are these services? Business logic here I understood. That's okay, fine, nice. But what about the services logic? What you are thinking about services logic? Now understand the point clearly. All of you know. Everybody put more concentration. Guys, now tell me, all of you now tell me, in Amazon.com, in a Flipkart.com, in a Meesho, and so on, in all e-commerce applications, authentication is required or not? Come on, guys. In all these e-commerce applications, authentication is required or not? Authentication is implemented or not? Authentication is mandatory or not? Clear. Authentication is required. Nice. Apart from that, transaction gateway or maybe transactions are required or not? Transaction is required or not? Authentication and authorization is okay. Transactions are required or not? Transactions are required. Logging is required or not? Logging is required or not? Logging is required. Okay, but only outside what exactly the things which are visible to us, that names only I'm talking now. But internally, so many activities are required. Now observe carefully: security, transactions, logging, and so on and so on and so on. All these are common activities for each and every application. All these are what are common things for each and every application. Am I right or not? Say yes or no. These are recorded commonly at each and every application. Clear? These are recorded commonly at each and every application. Now these things are called as what are their services. These common activities at each and every application are what their services. Services. Security is one of the service. Transactions is another service. Logging is another service. Understand my point clearly? These are and so on and so on. So many. Internationalization is one of the service. Validations is one of the service. And conversions is another service. Like this, so many services are required. So many services are required. So many services are required. So many services are required for each and every enterprise application. So these common activities are called as what their services. Common activities are like what their services. These common activities for each and every application is what there is a service. Guys, all of you understand it, no? What is business and what is service, no? All right. Now the point is what? To implement these services, whatever the logics that we are using to implement these services, that logics are called as services logics. The logics are called as what? The services logics. Okay, business logic and services logic. Right, sir. Now let's move on to the point here. All of you, I think so. You are getting clarity on it. No, what is business logic and what is services logic? Which things are common in some websites and that are required mandatory, then they're called as what the services logic. Perfect, Shetty. Right? You understood clearly. All right, sir. Now, up to now, we understood business logic and services logic. Oh, it's okay, fine. Then what next one? You know, in a combined manner, they have to be provided in a combined manner. They must be provided in what their combined manner. Then how they are going to be combined? You know, I will take an example now. Try to understand it clearly. For example, I want to prepare two enterprise applications. Guys, now observe carefully. I want to prepare two enterprise applications. This is one enterprise application. This is another enterprise application. Two enterprise applications here I'm going to prepare. Now, inside these two enterprise applications now, I want to provide business logic and as well as like services logic. First of all, here I'm providing like what there authentication. Next one is business logic. Next one is data validations. Next one is business logic. Next one is after the data validations, we can understand. Right, sir. Now transactions. Next one is what there business logic. Okay, guys. Anyway, now these are sufficient. No. Similarly, in another enterprise application also here we have to provide them. Application 1, application 2. Yeah. This is clearly like what their object orientation. Okay, clear. So now I'm asking one question to all of you guys. Now try to answer for it. And people are asking to me, sir, too much theory, sir. Arey yaar, without theory, how we are going to understand programming? No, programming is nothing if you know the concepts. If you understand the concepts, programming is nothing. Yes. The point is what? If you know the subject now, then programming is nothing. Just programming is what their application, applying the things. But if you know the subject, then application, applying the things is very simple. That I'm trying to improve. Okay, clear. Anyway, now I'm asking one question to all of you guys. Now observe carefully. Observe carefully what I'm telling you. How many applications I'm preparing, sir? Two applications I'm preparing. Observe carefully. In two applications, how many times I'm providing authentication logic? Come on, guys, respond for me. How many times I'm providing authentication logic over two applications? In two applications. Authentication logic I provide how many times? Now please check it now. Two applications I prepared. In two applications I'm telling there. Over the two applications. Over the two applications, how many times we provide authentication logic? Two times. In application 1 I have written authentication logic. In application 2 also I have written authentication logic. How many times I provided data validations logic? Over the two applications, how many times I have written the data validations logic? Two times. How many times the transactions logic here we provided? How many times the transactions logic here we provided? Two times. That means with respect to two applications, we provided services multiple times. More than one times here we provided services. Okay. Now moreover, The services are common to all the applications or not? The services logic is common to all the applications or not? Is a common thing for all the applications or not? Definitely services logic is common to all the applications. Services logic is common to all the applications, but business logic is individual to the applications. Business logic is related to application 1, it's individual. This business logic is related to application 2, that's individual. Okay, now observe carefully. If you maintain authentication logic, data validations logic and transaction logic separately to each and every application, where we are providing shareability and where we are providing reusability, sir? Where we are providing shareability and where we are providing reusability. For each and every application, a separate just set of services if we provide now, where is shareability and where is reusability? What is the meaning of shareability and reusability now? Only one copy of authentication I want to have, that I want to share to multiple applications, that I want to reuse again and again. One copy of authentication I want to share to multiple applications, that I want to reuse again and again in the same application. One copy of data validations I want to have, that I want to share to multiple applications and that I want to reuse again and again. One copy of transactions I want to share to multiple applications, and one copy of reuse transactions logic I want to reuse again and again. So this type of shareability and this type of reusability I want to have. Clear? All of you are getting clarity on this point now? So this is object orientation. Up to now, whatever the thing here we provided, this is exactly called as like what their object orientation. This type of implementation is what their object orientation. Right? Once again, understand the content here, what I am telling here. To prepare applications, if we use object oriented programming languages, then we have to use both business logic and services logic in a combined manner. It will provide tightly coupled design and it will provide lesser shareability and lesser reusability. Okay, fine. Now observe carefully. In the above context, to improve shareability and reusability, we have to apply aspect orientation. We have to apply what their aspect orientation. Clear? Now, what is aspect orientation? I'm going to give a definition, guys. Now observe carefully. Aspect orientation, aspect orientation is a methodology or a set of rules and regulations, a set of rules and regulations that are applied on the object oriented programming, that are applied on the object oriented programming in order to improve shareability and reusability. Guys, now observe carefully. What is the meaning of this aspect orientation? Aspect orientation is nothing, sir. Is a methodology or a set of rules and regulations that are applied on the object oriented programming. Internal programming is what their object oriented programming in order to improve shareability and reusability. Then what methodology and what set of rules and regulations in aspect orientation improving shareability and reusability? That point here I'm telling you, now observe carefully. In aspect orientation, we will perform the following actions. What actions here we are going to perform there in aspect orientation now? What we will do there? All right, sir. In aspect orientation, what we are going to do now? First of all, we will separate the services logics from the business logics in the enterprise applications or in the applications. Point number one. Remember carefully. Declare each and every service. Declare each and every service as an aspect. Declare each and every service as an aspect. Number three. After this, number three. apply aspects in the business logic at runtime as per the requirement. At runtime as per the requirement. Observe carefully. Apply aspects in the business logic at runtime as per the requirements. So these three steps, how I'm going to implement in our content here. Now observe carefully in the same diagram what I'm going to do here. Then what is the first step now? First of all, separate the services logic from the business logic now. So it means that what is the point here I'm telling there? Now here we have to separate these services from the business logic. So this is a service here. Now separate these services logic from the business logic. Don't include the services logic inside the business logic. Separate them. Here also I'm having authentication, just delete it, not required. Data validations are available even here also, we delete it, not required. Transactions are also be available. Separate them. After this, what it is saying that declare each and every service as an aspect. This is authentication aspect, this is validations aspect, and this is like what the transactions aspect. Right, sir. Multiple aspects here we provided. Now try to understand it clearly. And so on, so many aspects now. Just here I listed only three things, only three aspects here I listed here. But like this, how many aspects are available? So many aspects are available in enterprise applications now. Only so many services are available in enterprise applications now. All right, sir. Now just I want to give names also clearly. Aspect 1. This is aspect 1. This is like what there, aspect 2. And this is like what there, aspect 3. Three aspects here we provided. Nice. Then after this, what next one? No, after that, apply these aspects into the applications as per the requirement at runtime. So before that, what I'm going to create now, we are going to create some join points. We are going to create some join points. Now here, this is one join point. This is another join point, and this is another join point. Here also, this is another join point. This is another join point. This is another join point. As per the requirement, inject these aspects into the join points now. This aspect here we have to inject now. Now here you have to inject this one here. Inject this one even here. Here also we inject this one here. Inject these aspects into the join points, into the application at the required points. The point where we are injecting these aspects is nothing but what are the join points. Just here we have to inject it clearly. And one more point I am telling you, now observe carefully. For example, authentication is required at multiple times. Guys, all of you understand it clearly. Authentication is required at multiple times. Join point means a point where aspects are injecting. In an application, the point where aspects are injecting. Join point is a point where aspects are injecting into our application flow. There is nothing but what there, join point. Okay, clear. Guys, one more point I am asking you now, observe carefully. For example, authentication is required in multiple times in a single project, sir. Authentication is required at multiple locations in a single application. Say for example, authentication is required at first one, at a second join point also required authentication, and at a third join point also required authentication. Yes, we can utilize it. Now data validations is required at second join point and at third join point also, and transactions is required for a third join point and at a second join point also. Yes, we can use it. Understand it what I'm telling there. Next one is aspects, that means authentication is required at all join points in application 1. Now data validations is required for first join point and for last join point. Aspect orientation, that means transactions is required for second join point and for third join point. Yes, of course, in a single join point we are able to provide more than one service. Yeah. Now tell me guys, now tell me, in this is aspect orientation. Whatever the point here I provided, no, this is exactly like what their aspect orientation. This is aspect orientation. Okay. Now all of you guys now observe carefully. If these aspects now in this scenario, now here object orientation, over this object orientation I applied aspect orientation. Observe carefully. Now the point, now tell me how many applications I prepared, sir, here? Guys, all of you know, all of you tell me how many applications here we provided. No, aspect orientation here applied. How many applications we provide? Two applications I provided. Now tell me how many copies of the authentication I prepared. Now, how many copies of the authentication I provided? How many copies of the authentication I provided? Exactly one copy of authentication I provided. Now tell me that single copy of authentication is provided to multiple applications or not? Single copy of authentication may be, single copy of data validations may be, single copy of transactions may be applied to more than one application or not? That single copy of these services I applied to more than one application. So this is nothing but shareability. This is nothing but shareability. The single copy of services are provided to multiple applications. Now this is nothing but what their shareability. This is the achievement of the shareability in aspect orientation. Clear? Nice. Now again I'm asking to you, now try to answer for it. Inside the application one, please all of you remember carefully, inside the application one, how many times I have used authentication? Inside the application one, how many times I have used authentication? Come on guys, now tell me. Inside the application one, how many times we have used authentication? Three times I've used authentication. Inside this application one, how many arrows are available? Three arrows. At three join points here we provided applications here now. Okay, three times. So is it not reusability? Within a single application, multiple times here we provided the same authentication, multiple times we have used it. So is it not reusability? Is it not reusability? Okay. So definitely now this aspect orientation approach is improving shareability as well as like what the reusability. So these are the common advantages here what we are getting from this content here from the aspect orientation. That's clear. All of you are getting clarity on it now. And people are asking one question to me now. What is the question people are asking to me? So same we can achieve by making file common. Sir, then if you want to achieve this entire system by taking one single file with all these services in a sense, how I can explain it now? Huh? Is it possible to achieve this entire system by taking a single file, aspect orientation, that means authentication in one single file, data validation single file, transaction single file? You want to achieve it now? For example, if we take a single file for authentication, how we are going to inject into the applications directly? We can use it many places in the sense. Now tell me, for example, file we have taken, authentication file we have taken, wherever that application is prepared, there you want to copy and paste that file now. And then if you do that one, then where is that aspect orientation here we are achieving now? The same object orientation we are implementing there. That means how many instances of authentication we are maintaining now? 10 applications we are preparing now. At all 10 applications you are doing that copy and paste for this point here. Automatically the same code we are using again and again, not reusability here. No reusability here. The point is like what there. As in application 2 we cannot, as the application 1 common file will be in application 1 git repository. Again we are using git in the sense might be a different context. I'm able to get centralization or containerization, such kind of concepts are totally different. And see, then still I'm not thinking about git or whatever it may be. The point is what, the simple point I'm telling there. Still I'm not giving the complete conclusion here. Then let me wait for it. Wait for it. Say one thing is very confirmed. By taking a single file, I want to share to multiple applications in the sense It's not like this. The entire system we are unable to use it now. Okay, right, so now let me complete this point here, and I'm able to give better solution for it, better explanation for it, no, apart from this. But actually the problem is I had that complete knowledge in my mind, so that I'm able to classify it clearly, but you are having a little bit knowledge, you are unable to classify it exactly. What I'm trying to say, you are not catching that exact point, Prem Kumar Prem. There's a problem here, but I had a complete information there, but I'm trying to explain that, but then maybe the sync is not going on between you and me. That's the reason why you are getting this question. Yeah, just 1 minute, let me think about it, how I'm going to give solution for it. 1 minute. Yeah, let me take next point here, then after that we may get some conclusion, no? Okay sir, good. Now this is what their aspect orientation system. Okay, aspect orientation system. Now here my question is what there, here my question is what there, what is my question, no? Where we are going to maintain these aspects, no? Where we are going to manage all these aspects, no? Okay, you are going to apply, you're ready to apply these aspects to multiple applications, it's okay, fine. But where we are going to manage these aspects? Come on, guys. Definitely somewhere else we have to manage these aspects, no? Exactly, exactly. If you apply this aspect orientation over the frameworks, maybe, or maybe some other tools, maybe, or some other content, maybe, that tools or that frameworks have to maintain these aspects. That tools or that frameworks how to manage these, how to manage what there, these aspects. Say for example, I'm telling to you clearly, Spring is one of the framework. Spring is what there, one of the framework. It has aspect orientation implementation internally. It has aspect orientation. So this aspect orientation is implemented because of that reason. Spring has internally authentication and data validations and transactions. So it can inject these aspects into the applications. The Spring framework is having its own. Spring framework is having like what there? Okay, Spring framework is having aspect orientation implementation internally. So it has some aspects, no, that aspects it is able to inject these aspects into the applications internally. Now tell me, yes, automatically the Spring is a tool or not? It manages this aspect orientation, it has the implementation of the aspect orientation, then it is able to inject these concepts into the applications directly. So this is exactly the meaning of like what their aspect orientation. Yes, sir. Got it or not? Then whatever the Git or Git repositories and all the things here we are using, they might be followed internally aspect orientation to achieve this particular content. Maybe they are following, but I'm not sure about it. No, but they may follow this aspect orientation kind of content internally. Because of that reason, we may achieve this kind of things now. But this is one methodology. This is one idea. This is one ideology. Then how we are coming out from object orientation? What advantages we are able to get from object orientation to aspect orientation? This is an advantage here we are able to get. Yes, it is an internal implementation of the Spring. Inside the Spring, it is available as it is. Okay, instead of taking these applications, no, we can take modules, for example, in a single application. Here I'm saying application one, application. That's why we are able to get some confusion here. Now, for example, I'm telling to you, in place of this application one application, to take modules in a single application. There also we are able to achieve it. Okay. Now, definitely, whenever I'm going to take that Spring project, where we are going to see aspect orientation effectively, we are going to see this in Spring applications, but not in core Java. In a Spring framework, we have to understand it. Definitely, I'll take some services. I'm able to inject the services into the application and Spring applications. Is it clear? So, just what I'm trying to discuss now, what I'm trying to give information there. What is object orientation? What is aspect orientation? That is my concentration. What is object orientation? What is aspect orientation? That is my concentration. Okay. In aspect orientation, what is the point I'm telling there? So Kumar Prem sir, just I'm telling to you the point is what, whether you are going to take a single file or you want to keep that in repositories or you want to keep that in another location, these are the implementations. How we are going to achieve it is a implementation of the tools, but the concept, but the idea of the aspect orientation, I'm telling you, understand it clearly. All these are like what are the different implementations maybe. Idea of aspect orientation is what, separate the services from business logics, declare them aspects, inject them at runtime of the applications in the application. That's the concept that I'm trying to say. Example for that is what the Springer has aspect orientation. Spring is able to do the same thing. Understand it what I'm telling there. Then remaining content, how we are going to achieve it? No, different models you are saying that, but it may be available in some other tools and it may not be available in some other tools. No, exactly the same thing is going in one tool or same thing is not going to be happen in another tool. I don't know, but the point is what is the idea of the aspect orientation I'm talking at present. Got it? What I'm telling to you. So you are saying that I want to take one file for authentication. I want to inject into all the applications in this. Of course, that is your implementation. You can take it. You may take that implementation, but that implementation may be available in some other maybe. But idea of aspect orientation, I'm telling that aspect orientation may be utilized in so many tools. Are getting it? What I'm telling now? No response. Right, sir. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. We'll meet in tomorrow. Yeah, Whoops is available. Just refresh it, Shetty. Then whatever the link I'm giving there, Whoops you are able to get. Just refresh it. Yeah, 8 a.m. batch. Then few days of time I'm not going to take, sir. Just you have to come at 7 o'clock only. Yeah, not required to come at 8 o'clock. No, 7 to 8. That we have to do. 8 a.m. batch. We have to attend for it. Okay, that's it. On minute, guys. Just give a minute of time. Right, sir. It's created in Core Java 7 only. Oops is available. The same link here I provided here. Now it's coming, sir. Oops is coming. Now please check it. Okay. Yeah, fundamentals I will take it. That's the point I'm telling there. Patan. Then I'll take these fundamentals now. I'll continue the content here. Just wait few days of time. You'll get it. Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot.